All right, Shalom. Before I start, let me give all praises to Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai Ba'Hashem. Rakakodash, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to all the elect Akim. Walk Wathium, learning, teaching in truth and sincerity. All right, this is going to be another video through the Spirit. I'm going to leave the link for this one because I'm not going to play the whole video. I'm going to just play a couple of parts. But it says the Indian problem, all right? And really, it is the Israelite problem, all right? And what you're going to see, and it's something that our elders and apostles always talk about, the fact that Esau Edom, he didn't get this land through peace and hugs and rainbows and kisses, all right, and dandelions and rosemary. He got this land through lying and through deceit. Everything he came here to the so-called Native Americans, all right, indigenous people, whatever term Esau likes to use, which we know scripturally and biblically as the Hebrew Israelites, specifically of the northern kingdom tribes. All right, he came here, lied to them, said he was going to be nice, and he began to kill them. Why? So he could take over their land. And we're going to let this play. All right, and this is nothing new. So this spirit is always in this guy, for this man to pretend like he's your friend, for him to pretend like he likes you and he's going to do right by you, and then for him to destroy you at the most opportune moment. All right, so let history be a teacher, and our people are going to learn the hard way. The majority of our people are going to be shocked beyond belief when this Edomite, all right, when the so-called white man starts obliterating them. All right, because now it's no longer just the Indian problem, it's the Israelite problem. He wants to exterminate us as a whole. And this is nothing new. I'm going to read it. It says it's attributed to Red Cloud, one of the native chiefs. All right, and we understand that specifically the Native Americans consisted of the tribes of Gad and Reuben. All right, it says they made us many promises, more than I can remember. But they kept but one. They promised to take our land, and they took it. All right, and that's damn Skippy. This man makes promises, he makes agreements, and he breaks them, and he kills you. And that's in the Bible.
By the early 19th century, the U.S. was rapidly growing, both in size and power. Land-hungry and ambitious, the new country was also drastically changing its policies towards the Indian nations. And nowhere was this more evident than in the treaties.
The United States' primary interest in treaty making was to acquire Indian land. And so the treaties were used for that purpose, especially as the United States found itself in a position to pretty much dictate the terms of the treaty. And so the treaties morphed from this friendship and reciprocity sort of relationship into a very one-sided thing.
So it went from being, like he said, a friendship to it being one-sided. It started out as an agreement, then they reneged, which is a common trope of this man. That's how, reading through the scriptures, we're able to know what his next moves are. All right, and we are able to identify him because this is a common tactic of his people. All right, and if there's any of you so-called Native Americans or Seminole Indians, watching this, you are a biblical Hebrew Israelite. All right, you're not the star people. You're not, flying eagle, burning bow. You are an Hebrew Israelite. All right, your people got over here a long time ago. All right, and the so-called Latinos and the so-called blacks, all right, are your family, are your extended brethren.
There's almost a mythology about this, that somehow when the pilgrims arrived, they were dragging land behind them. There was no land brought here. The land here was native nations. And this is what the United States needed. It's what it wanted. They wanted all of it. They wanted everything.
The greed came in. Well, we have a little tract here now we need a little more. And, well, we need to go make another treaty.
So I'm
We
gonna
did not.
pause it right there, and I'm gonna get some scriptures. All right, because right there he says the greed came in. So first things was cool and smooth. All right, Gad was like, okay, well we'll move out the way. We'll let y'all come here. But it says Esau, he wanted more. The greed kicked in. All right, where do you see that at? Let's come to First Maccabees. We'll go to chapter 6, and we'll start at I could start at 55. I'll probably start at 55. We'll read down. All right, this is dealing with one of the wars. So you have the Grecians fighting against the Israelites. All right. So First Maccabees 6 and 55. It says, at that time Lysias heard say that Philip, whom Antiochus the king, whilst he lived, had appointed to bring up his son Antiochus, that he might be king, was returned out of Persia and Media, and the king's host also that went with him, and that he sought to take unto him the ruling of the affairs. Wherefore he went in all haste and said to the king and the captains of the hosts and the company, we decay daily, and our victuals are but small, and the place we lay siege unto is strong, and the affairs of the kingdom lie upon us. So you had this man Lysias. He went to his king, all right, which was Antiochus, not Epiphanes, but Antiochus, I believe Ptolemy, the son of Antiochus. All right, they saw that Philip was back in Greece trying to take shit over. So Lysias said, look, let's stop fighting here. Let's go back to Greece. All right, verse 58. It says, now therefore let us be friends with these men, and make peace with them and with all their nation, and covenant with them, that they shall live after their laws as they did before. For they are therefore displeased and have done all these things, because we abolished their laws. All right, and when you look at these pilgrims, so-called, the natives weren't automatically hostile to them. The natives just wanted to continue in their way of life, and that's what these assholes on the left were disrupting, our way of life. Our people just wanted to be let. Jake just wanted to do what they do. All right, Jake wanted to chase Pocahontas booty through the woods and and ride a horse, and go hunt some bison. But what does the devil want? The devil wants more and more. Like this man said in the video, the greed kicked in. And relating it back to the scripture, the Israelites here, we just wanted to live according to our laws. That's why the war began in the first place. All right, verse 60. It says, so the king and the princes were content, wherefore he sent unto them to make peace, and they accepted thereof. Also the king and the princes made an oath unto them, whereupon they went out of the stronghold. So even back then, the so-called white man, he made a peace treaty with us. He said, okay, we'll leave y'all alone. We'll stop fighting. But then what? Verse 62. Then the king entered into Mount Sion. But when he saw the strength of the place, he broke his oath that he had made, and gave commandment to pull down the wall round about. Afterward he departed in all haste, and returned unto Antiochia, where he found Philip to be master of the city. So he fought against him and took the city by force. So right there, verse 62, he reneged. He said, it says, what? He saw the strength of the city. He says, man, you know what? F that. All right. And he came and did some damage to us. That's what these assholes did. All right. Let me take it back.
Understand that.
Let me take it back.
The greed came in. Well, we have a little tract here now. Now we need a little more.
Right there, he said we have a little tract here. Now we need a little more. That's Esau's spirit. The world is not enough. He's like imagine a bottomless stomach. All right. That's why the landmass that Esau reigns over, his main landmass, Europe, is known as what? The bottomless pit. It's lack of resources. So they're always on the look to steal and take some shit. All right. And it's also known as the bottomless pit because that's the place where the beast helmed out of. All right. So this dude, this is just another indicator of who Esau Edom truly is, of who that red horse is out of Revelation chapter 6. That is his spirit. He will lie and kill and steal and renege.
And, well, we need to go make another treaty. We didn't understand that eventually those treaty-making processes ended up to the acquisition of all of our ancestral homeland.
Yeah. So we're going to jump around and get at, God damn it, we're going to jump around. All right, I just wanted to get that intro. You look at some of these quotes, they describe, how and what was going on. Let me see.
The Americas as wilderness.
Oh, right here. This is perfect. They had the trains killing the buffalo, the food source of the natives. All right. And while people were on the trains, shooting them, starving them out. This is how this man gets down. An absolute, just completely anti-life. All right. You have the character in DC Comics called Darkseid. He's searching for the anti-life equation, this man Esau has found it. All right, this motherfucker knows how to exterminate life.
Because of its wilderness, then there's really nobody to dispossess. It was okay to come here and prosper and conveniently forget that there were already people and civilizations in place.
At first we had something to eat, but that gave out and we were starving. We came to a slippery elm tree and ate the bark of that. Lots took sick and died.
The Trail of Tears. She was describing.
As Americans successfully pushed the bounds of the frontier, they not only believed that they were destined to take over the land and prosper, they believed that God was the one who put them there to do it.
And they're halfway right. You know, manifest destiny. It was prophecy that this man had to come over and take. All right. Like I said, I'm not going to play the whole clip. I just want to get some parts. You know, this shit crazy, man.
But I took my turn at carrying him because he could not walk much. I would get so tired I'd think I was going to die, but I would hang on to him. I was so afraid they would kill him.
She's talking about her baby brother when she was being forced to walk the Trail of Tears. Now, of course, she's reading. You know, she's reading basically, you know, notes left behind from her ancestors. She had the little girl, I believe she said she was 8. You know, she had to carry her baby brother because if she didn't, the troopers marching them most likely would have killed them.
Saw them kill babies who were too big to be carried and would give out.
That really was a road of death. People were falling on the side of the road or being shot or being murdered on the road and being left there. The removal process was done in a way that was not efficient in making people survive.
Of the millions of Indian people that lived before the first colonists arrived, by the end of the 19th century, only 250,000 remained.
And this is, you know, so-called documented numbers. All right, so, okay, well, you know, and there's probably, most likely way more, but we'll use that. Let's say we'll go from 1 million to 250,000. What's that? 750,000 bodies Esau has on his tab, you know, of all the different, of Gad and Reuben. And, you know, you had other tribes mixed in there. You know, so he absolutely decimated our people. And there's one comment that sticks out right here. You know, there's all these comments here. You know, this dude, he said 500 years later, we have to admit the Indians, the Native Americans had the right idea about life. You know, yeah, hey, life was more, they was living in a way that was way better than how Esau has us living. All right, but this comment right here, now I'm going to assume this person is a Gadite, all right, but it says, we're still here, we're not going anywhere, all right, and ultimately, we're going to do what? Well, you go to prophecy, you know, this injustice that Esau Edom committed is not going to go unpunished, all right? This was all biblical prophecy. We're going to go to Genesis 49 and 19. It says, Gad, a troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at the last, all right? Gad is one of the Native American tribes, and as you see in this picture, he was overcome. He was shot down. He was beaten, all right? They were displaced off of their land. They were made to walk hundreds of miles. Many of them did not survive, all right? But it says what? Gad shall overcome at the last, meaning what? Ultimately, all of the Israelites, not just the Gadite tribe, we're going to get revenge for what this man has done to us here soon at the culmination, the end of this world. That's why all these things are happening and heating up in this world, all right? At the return of our Lord Yahweh Shai, this man will be recompensed of what he did, all right? Actually, we'll do this. We'll go to Zechariah, all right? Because not only did he do that to the so-called native tribes, but he did that to the so-called black tribes, all right? Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, the dark-skinned Negro tribes. Zechariah 9 and 13, it says, when I have bent Judah for me, the southern kingdom, the so-called Negro tribes, it says, fill the bow with Ephraim, northern kingdom, the so-called Latino Native American tribes, because we are brothers, all right? So the Heavenly Father says he's going to bend Judah like a bow, meaning he's going to give us the ability to fight back against this man by way of the spiritual power. And it says, fill the bow with Ephraim, meaning our Northern Kingdom brothers are going to be right beside us. The way that you have a bow and an arrow, you can't have one without the other. They're ineffective without each other. All right, you could slap a dude with a bow, or you could just poke somebody with an arrow, but it's not effective as when you put them together. All right, you put that bow on that arrow and you launch it, and that person's going to die. All right, so Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is going to combine the elect and the 1/3. All right, he's going to put the chosen back together and do what? It says, and raised up thy sons, O Zion, against thy sons, O Greece, and made thee as the sword of a mighty man. So us, the children of Israel, will be going against who? The sons of Edom. All right, and he is the main, because we understand that you had the Japhites that were in that land before him, but he took on the role of the Greeks. All right, so it's going to be us versus them, and this picture is going to be reversed. It's going to be us, the elect, all right, leaping over cars, kicking down buildings, all right, catching damn grenades and tossing them back across at them, taking them out the way, making them run, making them fall over, all right, spilling their blood, all right. Yeah, it tells you in the verse up right here at the end of it, it says, I will render double unto thee, meaning what? So we're going to give them a double butt whooping of what they gave us. All right, these assholes broke treaties and did us wrong. Well, we're going to do them dirty and get great revenge upon them. All right, and you got many scriptures, that show you how this man, he speak with smooth words. All right, let's get one. Hey, you can't trust this guy. This is why over here at Great Millstone, we're not dealing with getting injected with nothing. This is the same dude who will lie to you and say, yeah, come on, friend, pal, buddy of mine, and you'll be dropping dead. All right, Psalms 55:21. It says, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. That's how this man gets down. 1 second, we'll let you live on the land. The next second, you need to move or we're going to kill you. Either move or die. You pick. That's how this man gets down. He comes to you with, and it mentions it in this video, they would get many of them drunk at the treaty hearings so they wouldn't know what the hell is going on, so they could influence them better to just go ahead and sign. Why? Because this man is the devil. All right, and they cannot escape this past and this history. It will not be swept under the rug. It will not be swept under the rug. All right, and it is basically the prophecy is speaking. This must be answered. All right, this will be answered and acknowledged. Somebody has to pay and pick up this tab. All right, let me see. There's some quotes in here. Let me see. Says, will the American government steal? Will it lie? Will it kill? Hell yeah. That's what they did. Shit. They lie, they steal, they kill. That's what they do. Or the damn Eddie Guerrero song. What do you say? I lie, I cheat, and I steal. That's E. Esau lies, he cheats, and he steals. Let me see. It says, we are poor, but we are free. No white man controls our footsteps. All right. And that's the mindset that our people had. Hey, that's why you have Reuben. What does it say in the prophecy? Unstable as water. They wasn't going for that. All right. He is the excellency of the firstborn. Or I'm tearing it up a little bit. All right, but it wasn't just a easy layover for Esau. He had to fight for it, but ultimately he ended up getting it. Let me see. I'm just pulling up some of these quotes. Now this is Andrew Jackson. All right, and he was one of the presidents. Andrew Jackson, aka the Indian Killer. It says, brothers, you cannot remain where you are now. You have but one remedy within your reach, and that is to remove to the west. May the Great Spirit teach you how to choose. So Andrew Jackson said, look, you motherfuckers, you better pray to what you pray to, and if he not saying for y'all to move, we gonna send you to him. All right? And so, and that's the spirit of this guy. You either do what he says or he kills you. He'll lie, steal, and kill you. You can do what he says, and he'll still lie, steal, and kill you. All right? So, hey, we are privy to this man's devices now. All right, so nothing new, not too deep, but just a reminder. This is the man that we're dealing with. All right, and this is the Israelite problem. So this man, what he's going to try to do, matter of fact, out of second address, see, it was the Israelite problem, but now it was the Indian problem, but now it's the Israelite problem. He wants to remove us out of the way. All right, take our birth, kill us for the blessing. All right, and get us up out of here. Second address 16. And I'm going to start at 70. It says, for there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. they shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. All right, hey, and this man is going to think to come down in similar fashion, but what's going to happen? Hey, he has an Israelite problem. He has let me see. He has a problem with us. All right. Once again, those that fear the Lord, the elect. All right. Isaiah 59:19. It says, "So shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the spirit of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai shall lift up a standard against him." All right. And that's the difference between now and then. We're not falling over like this anymore. We're not going to be the Indians in the jungle being shot down and conquered. All right. We're going to be, Lord willing, the elect men that are doing unspeakable acts to these devils in retaliation through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. All right. The Lord is going to lift up the standard, and you best believe you're going to have 12,000 Gadite men a part of that standard. All right. You know, getting they licks back. All right. So with that, I'm gonna give all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai Ba'Hashem, Rakakurash, the honors to the elders and apostles, great millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to all the elect Akim. Walk with him, learning, teaching truth and sincerity. I'm going to leave the link for this one in the description. All right, so shalom.